Howdy folks. This is Sauna Sessions episode 1, third take. I want to post these to give you a deeper glimpse into who I am. And for no other reason than just to have fun and just to be raw and intimate and open and vulnerable. This is the third time that I've tried to do this because the first two, I was so focused on perfection and trying to edit everything to make it look nice and whatnot. But, I just want to have these as raw. No editing to show you that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes. And that's okay. I'm Brody Henry. I'm 28 years old and I'm a coach, I'm a carpenter, I'm many things, but right now I'm pursuing holistic wellness coaching. And I'm really excited about it, I'm really passionate about it, and I just want to share my story and share a message with everyone. My whole life I've tried to strive to be a perfectionist, and every time I'm putting on a face, I'm trying to be something that I'm not. I'm not allowing myself grace and self-compassion, and ultimately it comes down to a lack of self-love. I want to post these videos to inspire and educate people on an alternative path, a holistic way of being. Everything from physical health to mental health to spiritual health, and having a connection with God or Source, the universe, consciousness. Just knowing that there's a higher power. It allows you to take a breath and not try to control everything and not try to predict everything. Because when you're in that state of being, life can get pretty overwhelming pretty quick. And I've been there. And every time I find myself in burnout, I always reflect and realize what caused me to get into that state. And it was because I took on way too much. When I lean on mantras like, the universe has my back, everything is happening for me, not to me. It allows me to feel a lot better about where I'm at and to not be so hypercritical of the things that I've done. Because when you hold yourself in constant judgment, holy moly, you are your own worst enemy. That little voice in your head is constantly critiquing you, the inner critic. And when it doesn't serve you, that's known as the parasite. When it does serve you, that's known as the ally. That's Toltec wisdom. Oh, I've got a lot to say, and I've got a big mission, and I just want to help. I just want to offer value and inspire others to, unpack who they are and why they do what they do. Because it's had a profound impact on my journey. And for a lot of people, it takes a crisis for them to get to that level. It doesn't have to be like that. A lot of people, if things are good, they don't want to change. You find comfort in where you're at. If it serves you, then rock on. But chances are it doesn't. We try to create this dream life from a place of lack and separation. And when you feel separated from the universe or your higher self, once again, life can get pretty daunting. Life is such a journey, and it's different for everyone. And along my journey, I've had breakthroughs and profound realizations. And when I'm in that state of excitement, I just want to share it with people, but it doesn't always land. It doesn't land because I'm not going about it the right way. I'm trying to convince people on why they should change, not showcasing the value of why it's important to change. And we get so stuck in our ways, and we get so comfortable with living this habitual life of routine, and it makes it really hard to break out of that cyclical pattern. You don't need a crisis to wake up. Sometimes all you need is somebody to plant a seed for you to sit with that in contemplation and unpack it. There's a book called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, and he says, you should sit on the edge of your bed and ask yourself, what would I change? Could I change it? Why would I change it? If you don't change, or you're scared of change, or you refuse to change, you are going against nature, because change is the only constant in nature. It really is. The seasons are constantly changing, the weather's constantly changing. Yet the human thinks that change is scary, because who knows why that might be. It might be a situation from childhood where you tried to change, you tried to be authentic, and you got shut down. In those formative years, when you're from 0 to age 7, you're like a little sponge. Your brain is in theta, and theta is the state of hypnosis. You're so susceptible to taking on all of these behaviors, these patterns from the people in your environment. And that's how conditioning works. Bruce Lipton says that the Jesuits had a saying that, give me the boy and I'll show you the man. It's basically like, up until that 7-year mark, you form this belief and you get conditioned on what you think reality is. And most of the time that isn't truth. You go about life and you get older and you start unpacking why you do what you do, if you're lucky, and you kind of analyze these patterns and these beliefs that you have. And the older you get, the more conditioned you become, the more ingrained these patterns and neural connections become, to the point where it seems so daunting and impossible to change. It's not impossible. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You can be 90 years old listening to this. You can change. You constantly have the pen in your hand, writing your story, and we sell ourselves short, and we become so limited in our thinking and our ways of being and what we think we're worthy of. Your self-worth is not determined by what you do, what you create, what you own, what you think of yourself, what others think of you. That's all ego. That's all ego. The ego is hyper fixated on this material dimension. There's so much more than what meets the eye. These little bodies, our world that we interact with. We are multi-dimensional, omnipresent beings. We just can't see that aspect, so we speculate on it. For thousands of years, gurus, mystics, saints, and sages have all talked about this higher dimension of reality, this higher mind, your higher self, God, There is something that is observing us, and if we tune into that, you can be a very powerful creator of your life. You can magnetize this reality that you've always dreamed of if you just believe in it, stay the course, and So I'll need to figure out some way to record in here with maybe a different camera, because my phone shut off and I only got a few minutes, and I rambled for about 5 or 6 minutes before I realized that it had turned off because of the heat. When I was in the flow, I was talking about how amazing contemplation is. How contemplating your beliefs can be a superpower. When you start to unpack the things that you've been stuck on and go, why do I believe what I believe? What causes me to believe what I've believed? When your beliefs don't serve you, you're going to feel bad about the thoughts that you're thinking, and just realizing that is somebody else's baggage, profound. Start unpacking those beliefs, and if a belief doesn't make sense, it's probably because there's a deeper belief that's causing that one to make sense. So go inward, go into your psyche, pull this garbage and yuck out of your unconscious mind, and contemplate on it. There's pillars of your subconscious mind of different belief systems. And if you shatter one of those big pillars, it's holding up a lot of garbage. That will just crumble and fall. After my phone cut out, I put it outside of the sauna to let it cool down, and I was listening to a podcast, and it was Bashar. And he led the audience through a guided meditation. And if you guys are able to, if you're not driving, operating heavy machinery, I'd like to guide you through that, because it was profound. Basically, find a comfortable spot, settle in, take a big breath in through your nose, all the way in. Out through your mouth. Do a few of those. Feel it in your belly. Expand. Just lean into that relaxation, that feeling of stillness. And just as a thought experiment, visualize you're in the middle of a great big warehouse. There's nothing in it. Big, vast emptiness. When you feel your mind starting to wander, just come back to your next available breath, breathing that in. And as you're looking around, it could be light, it could be dark, there could be posts, but it's a warehouse. And in that warehouse, you see a box. It's the only thing in there. It's just a box. Simply observing that box. There's enough light coming in that you notice that box is there. You walk over to it, simply observing. Visualize or imagine that this box is clear. It's just a container. Maybe something you could pick up. Could be glass, could be plastic, but you can see into it, and it's contained. And in this box is nothing. Now what I want you to do is just imagine, just think the thoughts that you normally think. Probably cycling through your head right now. Maybe it's something you got to do a month from now. Maybe it's something that's been weighing heavy on your consciousness for a little while. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's a goal. Maybe it's something that you haven't thought about for a while. When you were a kid, what were your dreams? just imagine that these thoughts start going into this box, into this container. You see them in there. You see your dreams. They're getting pulled out of your head, appearing in this box. Could be smoke, could be little light bulbs, could be a sphere, could be a cube. Could be some negative stuff that's been floating around in your mind for far too long. See that in there too. See, maybe that is dark. The good stuff is light. With each breath, more and more thoughts go into this container till it gets to a point where maybe all of your thoughts are in here. They could be still, they could be floating around, but you know that they're in there. Now, without thinking about it, simply observe. Observe the warehouse. Observe this box. This isn't in your head anymore. All of these things are outside of you. For me, they're buzzing around. Pretty noisy, pretty energetic. Maybe for you, they're still. Simply witnessing all of this take place without thinking, without conscious thought, without energy. Simply from a place of detached observation. Start backing away, still observing this box with your thoughts. You're in a big warehouse. There's nothing behind you, just simply moving away. You could be watching it over your shoulder, but you know that you're putting distance between you and this box. Keep coming back to your breath, coming back to that state of observation. You as the awareness. You're not aware of your body, simply observing. Now as you keep backing up, it's getting further away. You come across a door. This door leads outside. Think about what this door looks like. Is it big? Is it small? It's got windows in it. However you open this door, you step outside, still observing that box. Nothing is going through your head because you're simply observing. You're not thinking about anything. And as you step outside, what does that warehouse look like? The door is open. You can still see this box. But back away just a little bit more. Is it sunny outside? Is it dark? Is it rainy? Is it dry? Still simply observing. Now, while observing, observe how you feel. How do you feel knowing that your thoughts are contained within that box? Just as the neutral observer, what's going on? This is the in-between state. When you're wrapped in your thoughts, you're not here. you're not from a place of observation, because when those thoughts are in your head, they are so noisy and they are so distracting. Those thoughts are not you. You know this. You know this to be true, because you can do simple exercises like this of observation. This is the in-between state between your physical mind and your higher mind. Your inspiration, your dreams, those grandiose breakthrough ideas come from your higher mind. Your higher mind is high in the sky, but that's not important right now. Simply observing. After you take it all in, go back through the door. Start going back to the box. All that noise and chatter, how much of that is yours? As you get closer, you can really see a separation. It's like oil and water. All the garbage has floated to the top. And just like scraping cream off of a jar of milk, let all that stuff go first. See it as just disappearing into the void. Just like a wisp of smoke. Anything that doesn't serve you, anything you don't want to hold on to, you can simply just let it be. Dissolving. Now those thoughts, the good ones, are coming back into your mind. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, maybe even your to-do list. Still observing all this take place. View all the negativity as just washed away and everything is back in your mind. Now this container has memory. Nothing is ever deleted or erased. It's simply a container, a space in your mind that when things get overwhelming and chaotic, this little warehouse is the eye of the storm. You can step away from your environment anytime you like and come here as a place of solitude, strictly as an observer, and being totally okay with where you're at, finding peace in the moment, completely detached from whatever it is that is making noise. And the more you do this, the better you're going to get. The better you will get at discerning whether your thoughts are serving you or not. Coming back to your breath. Hold the way in. Sigh it out. Big belly breath. Holding and out. Slowly start to wiggle your toes, your fingertips. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. How do you feel? I know I feel pretty relaxed. I have a sense of liberation, knowing that this space is available to me. And whenever you feel overwhelmed, just know that your physical mind has taken on more than it can handle. It's worrying about things that are out of its control. When you allow grace and ease to this notion of letting go of the things that you cannot control. Wow. You feel this lightness. When you feel heavy and overwhelmed and anxious, you're carrying somebody else's baggage. You don't have to do that. It's not yours to carry. That is living rent-free in your head, and you just gave it an eviction notice. Notice the somatic response to that practice. How do you feel right now? How does your body feel? Maybe there was some tension in your gut and that solar plexus chakra and those lower 3 centers that were holding you down. When you open up to this conscious observer, you feel it into your heart. When you have heart-brain coherence, all of a sudden your energy signature becomes much more coherent and organized. You can think clearer. You're not overwhelmed. You feel this lightness, almost like a childlike essence. And if you keep leaning into that, you'll find your excitement. And that's what I've been leading into. What are those things that you're excited about? Follow that excitement with no rhyme or reason. If it seems tangible, and if it supports the first values of do good, be good, chances are that's the real you trying to shine through. Oh man, when you're at a job that you hate and you feel so stuck, it's like, what is the purpose of life? You'll ask yourself questions like that. When you're following your excitement and acting on your passions, the last thing you will ever say is, what is my purpose? It's about allowing yourself grace to follow your dreams. And you'll find that the more you lean into that, the more divinely guided your journey becomes. Synchronicities will start to unfold. You'll meet people, you'll hear a conversation along the street, and they'll be like, how the hell did that just happen? You might start seeing number sequences, 111, 222, 333, 1111, 1212, portal numbers, angel numbers, license plate, looking at the clock, serial numbers. Anywhere numbers in formation, it no longer becomes a random sequence because you will notice how organized your reality is. We are being observed by a higher level of intelligence that is beyond our ego mind comprehension. That's okay. We don't have to fight about it. We don't have to say I'm right, you're wrong. We can all believe our own thoughts if they're true, if they serve you. But when you believe something that doesn't serve you, it's going to lead you down a path of unfulfillment, of contraction, of feeling like you're swimming up the stream instead of surrendering and letting the stream carry you. And every single time in my life when I find myself swimming up the stream, I go, I'm a good swimmer. Good thing I'm strong. Good thing I can just power through this until I pass out. But no matter how burnt out I am, I'm still held. There's still a life jacket on me because you cannot drown. The only way that you can give up is to quit completely and never try again, and to opt for the route where you unalive yourself. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why I am here, and we are all right. We all have a unique seat at the table, the eternal infinite table, and your portion of abundance pie is waiting there, desperately waiting for you to hop up, be worthy of it, and start enjoying it. You're not rushing through it. You're enjoying it because you're in the moment. Yeah, baby. Please be recording. Let's go. Okay, we're still recording, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Read the book, The Art of Contemplation by Richard Rudd. Learn to meditate.
check out things like Abraham Hicks, the Law of Attraction, The Art of Manifestation, The Secret by Rhonda Burns, whatever. Bob Proctor, Wayne Dyer, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, all of these powerful gurus have cracked the code and figured it out for themselves, and now they're educating and inspiring other people. You can do the same. Your life doesn't have to be what you think it is. You don't have to stay stuck. There's always an option. There's always an option. I'm gonna go do a cold plunge now. Thank you. If you're still here, thank you for joining me. The divine light in me recognizes the divine light within you. Namaste. Love you guys.